this type of presentation. I practiced only a couple times, and honestly, it is tough to do this within 15 seconds. Ken just did a phenomenal job. So let's talk about the very first thing. You've got to know your customer, and we're going to fly through these slides. You've got to know your customer, know their demographics, know their decision-making habits, know where they are, know what they like to do, and then you've got to get a contact database of those key decision makers. Find their contact information, their phone number, their email, or where they're at, and go and get a database. It's going to be easier to create one necessarily than buy, just because of the poor quality when you buy. Most people forget that inbound and outbound marketing to generate leads is absolutely critical, both together. If you only do cold calling, for example, outbound, it's not going to be as effective. If you only do SEO and pay-per-click, it's still not going to be as effective, but combine the two. You've got to set up a system. So Excel spreadsheets are great. You've got to have a legit system. Of course, you guys know Salesforce or Inside Sales or other CRMs. You've got to have something in place to track all of your workflows and your processes. Cold calling, it's not dead. It's necessary. In every single business we talk to, they have a need to cold call. And everyone hates it, and I know y'all hate it. That's okay. But including your SEO and pay-per-click, cold calling is absolutely a must. You'll generate results from it. Qualification questions. Once you hop on those cold calls, you better have something prepared. So figuring out what makes a qualified lead for you is going to be key and unique to your business. So come up with 2 or 3, maybe 4 qualification questions that you can ask that person on the phone. And just smile and dial. Honestly, you've got to smile, because a positive attitude will allow you to get through the door. Confidence on the phone will allow you to get through and talk to the decision maker. It's huge. Of course, don't take rejection personally. Cold callings can deliver a lot of rejection, but it's all part of the game. Okay, this one, people make mistakes all the time. The first call you make, do not try and sell your product or service. Absolutely ridiculous. Always try and set an appointment. No one wants to talk to you on a cold call, but if you tee up an appointment, they might actually spend some time with you. Of course, when you're calling into companies, most of the time they're going to have gatekeepers, a secretary. Those people are trained to get you out, to not have you meet with the decision maker. So be friendly. Ask. The gatekeepers are almost always willing to give you some kind of information. So just ask and you'll receive. Okay, process real fast. Smile first, and know you're busy on the phone. Use these words. It will diffuse certain concerns. Introduce yourself really quickly. Tell them, hey, I was told you're the person to talk to about XYZ. Stroke the little ego. All right, let's keep moving. Sorry. This is some magic. You have to follow this. Absolute magic. Turn 30 seconds into 3 minutes on a cold call. When they say, why don't you send an email, instead of them saying, get off the phone, that's what they're telling you, why don't you actually send them an email? Have a predetermined template of an email that has your company information and a link, not an attachment. Send it to them and ask if they received it. Then ask if they would open it right there on the phone, and ask if they'll click on the link to make sure that it works. This will honestly automatically increase your results just that fast. Of course, voila, now they're looking at your website. They can see what you do, and now you can tee up an appointment. Now the keys to teeing up an appointment, it has to be within about 3 days, if you can. Some, of course, will ask you to do longer, but within 3 days will be the most effective. More will hold. Only give them 2 times. Don't ask when they're available on Wednesday. Say, would Wednesday at 2 or 4 o'clock be better for you? And then, of course, use a calendar invite of some sort. Technology is going to be key. That way they can confirm it right then and there on their calendar. Of course, it's your job to never miss a follow-up appointment. If you schedule that appointment, never miss it. You're the one who cold called them. So always be there on the phone. And then you can refer to the link in the email that you talked about on the cold call. That only lasts just a couple minutes. The needs analysis, getting more into the sales process. Once you have that appointment, you have to get into an analysis. Find out what their needs are. If you don't know what their needs are, and truly the details of their needs, then you won't know how to tailor the product to them. So be specific, be simple, and help them understand specific examples. If they're a manufacturing company, use examples of other manufacturing companies. And yeah, that will help them through the sales process. Geez, this is great. Actually good. Okay. Now you can use case studies when you're on the phone with these people. Use testimonials if you've got them. If you don't, go make them. But you've got to gain credibility. You can share awards and recognitions that you've received. And people will start to believe you. They'll start to trust what you have to say. Of course, don't be pushy. Worst thing is somebody gets on the phone and they're trying to nail somebody on a sale, assume the close. If you ask the right question, that person will close themselves. You need to be able to work with that person and their needs and solve the problem with the solution, not just pushing the close. And that's my time. That was fast. Thanks, though.
I have a first question. How many times do you go through a rejection before I stop calling back?
Sure. So 7 to 10 touches is the average of creating an action. And a touch can be a voicemail, it can be an email, it can be talking to that person, or social media interactivity. 7 to 10 touches. That's to create one action. For them to call you back, for them to respond, for them to whatever. So remember that. If you've called them 10 times, and you've never spoken to anyone, and you've left 3 or 4 voicemails, and you've sent maybe 4 or 5 emails, that's probably when you can say, okay, I'll move on to the next one. But don't lose out. There's so many good people that want to buy your product. You just have to be consistent and follow up.
Do you chart the success rate for how many minutes you keep a person on the phone?
Yeah, so you definitely want to keep the phone call typically under 5 minutes on a cold call. You want to keep it within 5 to 7 minutes on a cold call. The reason for that is that you're not selling, you're not trying to close on that cold call. You want to give them enough information to hook them, to get them interested, and then to hold that appointment. Because that's when you can have a 20, 30, 45-minute demo or call or sales pitch.
What questions do you ask to make sure you're trying to get to the right person?
Great question. So there's one simple one. Depending on what you're trying to target. Okay. You're basically going to ask who is in charge of. I'd like to speak to whoever's in charge of whatever you're looking for. That's one key. I mean, there's so many others, but that's one key thing that you can ask.
Tell us what you're
The winner. I've got a book that we use in our office. It's called Coaching Salespeople into Sales Champions. It's something that I wanted to give to one of you guys out there. It has a lot to do with us. And the winner of this book is 621 508. Who's the winner? Oh, we could call another one.
Really? I got it. It's me. It's me.
Coaching salespeople. You ready? Thanks, guys. That was a blast.
All right. Thank you, Brent. Thank you.